Hey coaches, this is Coach Randy with Radius Athletics. Let's talk basketball. Today I want to talk a little zone offense. More specifically, I want to talk about using the shallow cut versus the 2-3 zone. In any zone offensive possession, you should have two main goals. One, to distort the zone, to make it lose its shape, to get players out of position, to get it away from that perfect world configuration that the zone defense wants to maintain. The second objective would be to create an expanded short corner, to create an area like this behind the defense to where there's space to operate along the baseline for players, and using tactics like the gap dribble, things like the shallow cut, can be tools to help you create an expanded short corner and give a larger area behind the zone for players to attack. Against 2-3 zone, I really don't prefer a lot of player movement. During most possessions, where you see these players lined up in their gaps between two defenders was kind of where I wanted them to stay. What I mean by player movement would be, say, a zone offense where one passes it over here to three and then cuts somewhere, and what I see when I see zone offenses like that are just different players just kind of coming to the same spots. So I felt like those are the right spots, that's where you lined up, stay there and play in those gaps. The only thing that triggered player movement in zone offense for me was when you were dribbled at. And the dribble at is what can sort of spawn this shallow cut. And by shallow cut, I mean this hook-shaped cut you see here where one dribbles off the top or dribbles at two, and two makes a shallow cut. This hook-shaped cut right here to the top. Basically, the dribble at moved him, and he gets in his spot to line up in the gap between X1 and X2. A couple pointers on the shallow cut is one, I want it to be just that, shallow. I don't want a big, deep, long, slow developing cut that looks like that. I wanted it to be shallow, just catch a corner of the lane. I would tell players to envision there's a cone sitting on the elbow, and all you got to do is just kind of race around that cone and get to the top. Second thing I would say is for two here, when he makes a shallow cut, to keep his or her eyes on the ball throughout the cut, on the chance that as one dribbles over here, maybe 4 and 1 kind of catch X1 or catch one in a little bit of a double team, and they can make themselves available for a pass out of a trap. If they don't have vision of the ball, they'd never know that trap happened. The dribble at is what spawned the shallow cut. The usage of the dribble is what distorts the zone. All right? And then combating that, or coupling that, if you will, with the shallow cut and ball reversal is what creates the expanded short corner. So let's walk through that. So as you can see in frame 1, player 1 dribbles off the top or dribbles at 2. 2 makes the shallow cut, just catching a corner of the lane, and replaces 1 up top. Now, when 1 dribbles off the top, X1 is going to slide with them, and sometimes this cut through this gap will get 2 to sort of cheat on the centering pass. And now we've begun to distort the zone. It sort of looks like something else now. Maybe this guy lifts, and it's starting to no longer look like a 2-3 zone. The next thing we want to do now that we've got the zone a bit distorted is to reverse the ball and create an expanded short corner. Some coaches like a middle flash right alongside with the shallow cut. I preferred a middle flash on the ball reversal after the shallow cut, like you see here in frame 2, where 1 has dribbled off the top, they've distorted to the zone, 2 is cheating on the centering pass. If 2 needs to come higher and stay in this gap, and the pass may sometimes look more like that, that's fine as well, as long as they're in between these two players wherever they need to be to achieve that, we're good with. All right, so we begin to reverse the ball now because the defense got a little bit distorted by sliding with the dribble, by coming to the shallow cutter. Now what we've done on ball reversal is created an expanded short corner. The two gap shallow cut, meaning this player cut through one gap and then two gaps, has served to distort the zone and create an expanded short corner on the weak side. So we would want to kick the quick swing. 3 has to come here. Now we're going to middle flash behind that, and we've got an expanded short corner to play high-low basketball with.